Good evening. Good evening from New York. This is Mr. Henry Okazo reaching you live from New York City. How are you, my very good friends? All right, so it's good to see you guys. Let me try and put my topic on Instagram. Self-discovery is the topic for today. Self-discovery. Let me know where you're coming from. Are you from Canada, from London, from Nigeria, from Portugal, from France? Okay, let me try and put my topic. Secrets to life. Okay. Take it to life and business. Okay, all right. So let me try and pin the topic on Instagram. All right, so that my friends can see this topic whenever they come in. Just give me a minute and then we'll be good to go. Just give me some few seconds. Okay, the topic has been pinned. Thank you, Tolani, for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, my friends on Facebook. Thank you, my friends on Instagram. All right, I must apologize for starting a little bit late. Um, like you guys know, family is everything. So I was thinking of my little boy, and that is the reason why I'm starting late. And today I have a very good topic on ground, and it's called self-discovery, secret to life and business. This topic is very personal to me because this is what I do and this is what I love to do. So this is just all about me. And I even wrote a book about self-discovery. Okay, so today I'm gonna be going with you guys on a very big journey. This will not be like a comprehensive insight to how you can discover yourself or your business, but it will give you an idea of what you need to do on how you can know what is so unique about you. And that is why I love this topic so much. All right, so for today, as you guys know, we always begin with affirmations. For today, I have just two affirmations for you guys. And the first affirmation I have for you is your being is in your DNA. Your being is in your DNA. And two, at creation, you are guaranteed success. By the time we go deep into this topic, you guys will know what I'm talking about because before you engage yourself in any business, you have to know yourself. What kind of business do I want to get into? Is that business for me? Do I have that? Do I have the personality? Do I have the passion? Do I have the gifts? Do I have the skill to go into that business? It's very, very important. And also, you have to ask yourself this question: who am I? Who am I? When you answer that question, then you'll be good to go. Because sometimes you embark on a journey without really understanding the fundamentals. It is just like someone going to study a major in school. You went into accounting, you went into biology, you went into law, you went into accounting, but in reality, that is not who you are. So that is why we have to know ourselves. Self-discovery. Self-discovery is priceless. So today I'm going to give you guys a very good insight just to know what self-discovery is all about. So let me ask you a question. Who are you? Who are you? Down the line, I will be speaking about perspective. But for now, let's talk about who are you? How do people see you? Just ask yourself, how do people see you? Because your personality, your reputation is what people think about you, but your character is who you are. But I want to ask you now, who are you? Now, you know, you can lie to others, but you can never lie to yourself. Self-discovery is one of the hardest, if not the most hardest thing in life. I don't care how much money you've made. Some people have made money, but they are not successful. They are not happy. They are not fulfilled. Down the line again, I'm going to go into this area so that you will know what I'm talking about when I talk about self-discovery. So let me ask you, who are you? What is your purpose on earth? At creation, what did you have? So for me to tell you what purpose is all about, let me give you an insight. If you want to know how Facebook works, what will you do? You ask Mark Zuckerberg, right? Mark Zuckerberg is the founder of Facebook. If you want to know how Microsoft works, right, you have to ask Bill Gates because he's the founder of Microsoft, right? And then if you want to ask yourself, who am I? The best bet you have is to ask your creator because your creator is the one who made you. But remember, Your creator has already given you all you need before you came into the world. So asking him, who are you, is like telling yourself again, I'm not listening to what my creator has given to me. I am not listening to what my creator is telling me. So I'm going to be telling you who you are in a minute. And just to give you an insight to know who you are, ask yourself, what are my gifts? What are my talents? What are my skills? These three things will help you to understand who you are, right? Because your gifts, your talents, and your skill, these are different things that can really help you to know who you are. And once you know about these gifts, talent, and skills, trust me, you will be on the right path to discovering who you are. Even the book of life says that my people perish because they lack knowledge. And when you try to understand that word, what does that mean that because they lack knowledge? The lack knowledge is relative. They lack knowledge of themselves. They lack understanding. All right. They lack so many things. It's just like someone entering into business. You are entering into business, but then you don't have the skill, you don't have the experience, you don't have the expertise to go into that. Now, to tell you more about knowing more about your business, we have five types of knowledge. We have the revealed knowledge, we have empirical knowledge, we have rational knowledge, we have intuitive knowledge, and we have rational knowledge. And how does it play out? Revealed knowledge is the one that God gave to people who wrote the Bible, revealed, as the word revealed. All right? And then what is empirical knowledge? Is the one you use in solving problems like arithmetics, like mathematics, observation, and experimentation. That is empirical knowledge. What about authoritative knowledge? Is the knowledge people believe in you because you have authority. Let me say you are into business right now. People believe in you because you have the expertise, you are authority. You've gone to school, you've trained yourself, then people will now know that you have that expertise to that idea. Now, intuitive knowledge is the one that comes from you internally. For example, you are driving, you're on the verge of having an accident, or somebody accosts you on the road like a thief or a criminal. What do you do at that instance? Or you have an like there's an emergency, maybe an health emergency. What comes out of your mind? That is intuitive knowledge. Rational knowledge is for you to solve practical mathematics. So your ability to understand these things will let you know who you are. We are all different. We're all different. Remember when I said earlier on, your destiny, your secrets is in your DNA. What is your DNA? Your DNA can be likened to a manual. For example, when you buy a phone, right, or you buy a TV, you have a remote. For you to operate that phone, you have to check the manual to know how it is operated. So without you being able to understand that manual, you have a hard time. So your secret is in your DNA. When your parents get back to you, they have their flesh and blood in you. That is why you are either you look like your father or your mother, right? Or you look like you're one of your relatives. That is how self-discovery works in a nutshell. Your secret in life lies in your DNA. You have to ask yourself, who am I? What is that thing that is so unique about me? What do people see about me? But most importantly, how do you see yourself? Not all about what people are telling you. Because if the whole world is telling you you cannot do it, and you know you can do it, you will succeed. Because he that is in you is greater and stronger than he that's in the world. But if the whole world is telling you you can do it, I know you cannot do it, you will fail. You know, I always tell my friends that the worst thing you can do in life is to lie to yourself, right? That's the worst to do in life. So understanding yourself is one of the hardest journey you will do for eternity. We will keep understanding ourselves until we leave this sinful world. So now, how do you really understand yourself? That is the big that is the big thing we shall be going into now in a minute. For you to understand yourself, there's something that can really help you. And I call it an encounter. How does that encounter really work? For example, you might have a friend, you might have a skill, you might have a passion, but you have not been able to strike that moment. Let me be more practical now. For those of you who are married, or you are dating, or you are involved in any kind of relationship, you must have met many men in your life or met many women in your life. But there's one man you will meet or there's one woman you will meet, your life will never remain the same. At that instance, you can say I have had an encounter. Oh, this is a man that has been striking my rib. This is the missing rib I have. That is an encounter. An encounter in literal sense means an experience, an event, or any circumstance that will make you not to remain the same from when you started to when you end. Basically means that your history can never remain the same. Let me say, for example, now, for those of you who like politics, all right, so you might meet an influential man, maybe someone like Donald Trump or Barack Obama, or even a great leader. When you meet that one person and you be like, oh wow, that was the moment, that was the icing on the cake, that is an encounter. So an encounter can be a person, it can be an event, it could be even be a decision you took in your life, okay, that you took in your life that can change the course of things in your life, which means that without that person, that story might have not been the same. I'm going to give you an example of myself as an accountant. An accountant I have was when News 12 had me on the TV. I was in the TV. All right. So when News 12 published me, I have never remained the same because I have received so many opportunities. That is an encounter. I'm going to give you guys another encounter again. An encounter again means that when I met my wife, my life has never remained the same again because I have seen so many transformation in my life. So I'm asking you, what is that encounter you've met in your life? Is that your profession? Is that your vocation? Or is that your ministry? That is how self-discovery works. Sometimes you might be in a journey. It could be that you are studying in school or you are working. But when you are working, you don't have that fulfillment. You don't have that joy. You're not happy. But when you have that person that can change the course of things for you, that is when an encounter really works. So now, how can an encounter really work in your life? It could be a gift, a talent, or a skill that you have that will change. For me, I would say I was not a natural born writer. But over time, when I started writing, I discovered that I have a skill in writing. Okay, so that is how an encounter works. So since I discovered I have a skill in writing, I've been now honing my skills in writing, and today I am a prolific writer. I get writing gigs from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from Instagram. Now, this writing now has made me to really discover myself. Not because I'm an author, but because I have developed that skill in writing, now and I see that I have discovered a new part of me. So self-discovery is an evolving process. If you are in business, all right, I would strongly advise you for you to take your time to study that business. But for you to know the kind of business you are into, you have to ask yourself, what are the skills that I have? What are the skills I have that can make me so unique? Because you cannot go into business because you think that there's money in that business or somebody's in that business. No, you go into that business because you think you have what it takes to succeed in that business. Let me give you a clear-cut example of what I'm trying to say by that. For me, I'm a public speaker. You could wake me up from the sleep, right? And I could speak. Trust me. I could be sleeping and waking from the sleep. I could be talking, I could be driving, and I would just get off my car and I will start speaking because I'm creative in that nature. Even writing, just give me a topic. As a creative writer, I will bring up a topic and I will write. That tells you that I am creative in nature. Now, there's something you can do which nobody else can do better than you. All right, it's not about what people are telling you. Yes, they're important, but you have to ask yourself, what is that thing I can do that nobody can do better than me? What is that thing I can do that even though I'm sleeping, I'm working, somebody calls me, I can do it? What is that thing I can do that I don't have to stress myself to do it? It just comes to me naturally. So to me, I strongly believe that fulfillment in life is the best thing that can happen to you. Fulfillment in life. If you're married and you're not happy, that doesn't make you fulfilled. If you are working in a place and you don't have happiness, that doesn't make you fulfilled. Fulfillment comes in a place whereby even without money, you are happy. And the best way I can talk about fulfillment is when, for example, you are married to somebody, you may have no money, but you just have that fulfillment, you just have that joy. You can't really explain it. That is how self-discovery comes in. Because it's something that comes intuitively. You remember when I spoke about the five types of knowledge? I spoke about intuition. It comes from within. Because when it's from within, you can't really explain it. It's like a feeling you have. I don't know what is attracting me to him. I don't know what is attracting me to her. It's a feeling. By having that feeling, trust me, you will succeed. And how do you know more about this self-discovery? Let me give you guys some insights. You might be working in a place of work right now, okay? And then you see yourself that you are putting in so much energy, so much time, so much attention, but then you are not getting the desired reward you want. Maybe you're not being paid or not being appreciated. And tomorrow, somebody comes in with less knowledge, less experience, and less expertise, and you'll be surprised to know that that person is doing well in that area. That person is getting attention, and then you begin to wonder yourself, what is it that this person have that I don't have? Now that lets you know that that person have something that you don't have. And you ask me, what is that thing? It's called grace. You know, people will see some artists and okay, and they say that, oh, he's talented, he's gifted. You know what? Everyone is gifted. Everyone is gifted. It just depends on how you have been able to manage and discover your gifts. Let me give you an insight of when I talk about gifts, right? Or being gifted. My wife is in the medical field, right? So one day I jokingly asked her, she never knew what I was trying to do, right? I asked my wife, right, if I give you $10 million or someone gives you $100 million to stop, to leave your profession or to leave the medical school or leave your clinicals, what will you do? She said she won't accept the money. She would continue her major because why? She loves it. Now, that tells you how to know someone who loves what he or she is doing. Now, if you are in a place of work, right, and then somebody is doing better than you, that person has put in their heart and mind in it. But on top of that, that person has gotten what I call gifts or talent or a skill. But more than that, I call it a grace factor because your grace will come to meet you at your place of work. If you are working in a particular environment and you are struggling day by day, struggling, you struggle to wake up from the sleep, you struggle to go to work, you struggle to even do the work, trust me, the reward will be limited. But if you are working in a place that you have passion, you are gifted, you are talented, trust me, you will see yourself exceeding very, very well with little or no pressure. Now, how does this grace factor come into place? Your grace factor comes into place when you are in alignment to what you have been destined or created to do. Let me say some 30, 40, 50 years ago in the world, all right, God has decided that you will be XYZ in the world. But when you now start to come into the world, you now decided that, you know what, I want to work in this industry. I want to be this person. But that is not what you have been created or you have been destined or designed to do. When you are now working in that place, that means that tells you that you are working out of purpose because purpose is very, very important. Once you are working out of purpose, you will find it hard to succeed. Once you work out of purpose and you're working in a different field of life, you might have what I call distraction, or you might even lose focus. If you succeed in a particular place of job and you don't have fulfillment, I call it defective success. How does that play out? True success comes in all ramifications. You can paint it internally and externally. You can see that success glittering all over you. But when you just think you've made so much money in life and then you think you're successful, no, success is relative. It is relative. All right. So for you to discover yourself, you must know that you have a purpose. Yeah, that purpose is different from the assignment which you do. So, for example, I understand that you can be working in a particular industry just to pay that bills. We all do that. All right. But then that will not stop you from thinking about the big picture. What is that big picture? The big picture is the vision you have in life. I will try to explain what I mean by purpose with three illustrations. With purpose, I will speak about your vocation, your ministry, and your profession. Your vocation, your vocation is what you are paid to do. Your profession is what you are trained to do. Your ministry is what you are created to do. So for me, for example, my profession is that I'm a trained attorney. I'm a trained attorney. So I'm an international lawyer. So I'm trained in that area. But my vocation is that I work with the government, right, of New York City. But my ministry is that I have been created to be a public speaker, to be an impactful person, to be a coach, to be a transformer, to transform lives That is my creation. So now I want to ask you, all right, because sometimes in life we kind of get it twisted, okay? For you to understand your creation, your purpose in life, you must know your ministry, you must know your vocation, and you must know your profession. So even though you are working in your vocation, but that is not your ministry, that's still okay. All right, that's still okay. You probably must have read law, accounting, finance, or whatever major you've read, but you know that you are working in a different field. That's still okay. The issue is that at the end of the day, try and be fulfilled, try and be happy, try and work in alignment, because you can work in a particular field today and tomorrow it can now lead you to something else. So that is why it's important for us to know our vocation, our ministry, and our profession, because sometimes we get it twisted. Once you are working in your purpose, you are working in what are called alignments. And to succeed will not be hard for you because you will see yourself succeeding. Grace will come to you, favor will come to you, blessings will come to you, opportunities will come to you. It's just that crystal clear. Let me give you guys more insight because me, I try to be practical. So when I came to the US, I was told to read taxation law. My dad influenced me because according to him, if you read taxes, you make more money in America. Good job. That's fine. I don't dispute that fact. Okay. But then one thing I failed to realize is that that was not me. Tax is not about me. Yes, it is law, but that was not me because I don't like numbers. All right. Even though when I was in New York Law School, I had a scholarship, I did fairly well, but that was not me. I saw myself struggling to succeed. Even when I finished the major, getting a job was really hard for me. It was that at that instant, I have to tell myself the honest truth. Henry, who are you? Who are you? You remember what I said earlier on? You can lie to others, but you can never lie to yourself. I told my honest self, taxation law is not for me. When I told myself that honest self, I decided to work on myself. Now I became a case manager and I had other professions that I was doing until where I am right now. Even it was at that instance when I was trying to discover myself, I was able to write my first book. For those of you who know, for those of you who have seen this book, that was how I came up to that realization. I wrote this book called Design Your Destiny, Actualizing Your Birthright to Success. And the book is all about self-discovery, purpose, alignment, knowing yourself. All right. So self-discovery is an evolving process. Some people towards the end of life, they will think that they have not lived a fulfilled life. They feel that they're not happy. All right. There's a message they are trying to say is that they do not work in alignment to what was given to them as creation. So it's always important for us to know how some of these things really work. Because once you know your talents, once you know your gifts, once you know your skill, to succeed in life will not be hard for you because your talent is the gifts that God has given to you. That is the first way to know yourself in self discovery. Your talents. Your talents and your gifts are what God gave to you. But as human beings, we now make an invention. Let me give you an example, right? God gave you your hand to eat, okay? But we made the fork and we made the spoon. God gave you your leg to walk, but we did the bicycle, we did the aeroplane, we have trailers, we have the bike, we have everything. God gave us your eyes to see, but we now did the eyeglasses. So there is nothing you need in this world that is not in you. But the issue is that some people have discovered themselves. Everybody can sing, but they're not a singer. So once you see someone who's talented, who is singing, he's gifted, she's gifted, it is because they are working in alignments. They are working in their purpose. So I'm going to ask you, what is your gifts? What is your talents? And I've given you guys some insight on how you can really discover your gift, your talent, and your skill. Okay? So I'm going to ask you again, how does your skill help to discover you? Your skill is simply that knowledge or that training that you've learned over time, which has now become a part and parcel of you. For me, I'm a writer. Writing is not my purpose, but writing for me is a skill. And over time, I have discovered that when I'm writing, I don't see myself struggling. I write creatively. And people have come to realize that I'm a creative writer. So writing again does not stress me out. So I want to ask you, what is that thing you can do very well? People talk about they are being poor, they have no money, it's a lie. The issue is that you have not discovered that thing that is so unique about you. Once you understand what is so unique about you, the whole world will look for you. I don't care what it is. You can be washing dishes, you can be sweeping, you can be singing, you could be picking up trash. There is something so unique about you that you can do for fun. But because we always want our mindset to be, oh, people will look down on me, how am I doing this? No, everybody cannot be a doctor, everybody cannot be a lawyer, everybody cannot be a singer. You can even be a teacher. You can be a teacher and be a world-class teacher. What is important is that you are making an impact. Okay? Another way for you to discover yourself is to ask yourself, what is your personality? Your personality is a composition of your likes and your dislikes. All right? So your personality is different from someone else's personality. All right? Let me give you an insight again about personality. For those of you who are my friends, maybe you heard me when I was speaking about the 5 love languages during my webinar. I did a webinar on marriages. I spoke about sanguine, melancholic, choleric, and phlegmatic. We all have different temperaments. I spoke about yellow color, blue color, yellow color, the blue color, red color, and the green color. We all have different personalities. All right. So, what is your personality? How do you relate to people? So when you know that your personality is different from somebody else, that is a good way for you to understand yourself. Self-discovery is an evolving process. It's an evolving process. Some people have zero tolerance, right? While some people have high tolerance. Some people can tolerate, some people cannot tolerate. It's just different. People say, Henry, you're a public speaker, you could talk, you could write. Good and fine, I agree. But guess what? I train myself in it. So that is my personalities. I know my boundaries. I don't go where I cannot succeed. I spoke about my major when I was in New York Law School. I was doing taxation. That was not me. That was not me. But right now, I'm doing something that I like. I don't force myself. You can wake me up in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night, and I will do it with fun. So once you know your personality, you will not struggle to succeed. Once you know your personality, you will find yourself in your comfort zone. People say leave your comfort zone. No, in this instance, your personality will help you to succeed in your comfort zone. How does that really play out? Let me give you a typical example. You see the fish, right? The fish stays in its comfort zone. The fish does not struggle to swim, but put that fish on the land. Will the fish be able to swim? No. The bird does not struggle to fly, but just put that bird inside the water like the fish. Can the bird fly? It will be limited. So that tells you that each and every one of us have different personality. I'm going to ask you again, what is your personality? What is your personality? Your personality will help you to succeed at your natural habitat, in that comfort zone that you are. That is where your personality will come in. Let me give you guys more insight again. For those of you who are in the medical profession, right? You have different expertise in medicine. Some people might decide to do internal medicine. Some go into surgery. Even in those areas, some people have decided that they want to succeed in a particular, they want to specialize in a particular area. Let me give an instance. For people who work in the intensive care unit, ICU, not everyone can work in the ICU because they don't have that temperament. So that is how you know yourself, self-discovery, your personality. Your personality, it is very, very important. Let me give you more insights again about personality. It's all about you hearing yourself. What voice are you hearing? That is a question I want you to know. What voice are you hearing? Anybody can tell you anything, but that is not who you are. What voice are you hearing? It's only the voice that is impactful that you want to hear. People might be telling you XYZ, but that does not make you who you are. Remember what I said earlier on. If the whole world tells you you can do it, and you know you cannot do it, you will fail. But if the whole world is telling you you cannot do it, and you know you can do it, you will succeed because he that's in you is greater and stronger than he is in the world. So when I talk about what voice are you hearing, what do I mean? Each and every one of us might be sitting in a classroom and we have a teacher, right? but we all don't hear the same thing. We all have pains. We all have pains, but we don't feel the same thing. We all might be working on a particular journey, but we all don't see the same thing. Your vision and my vision might be different. So that is what I mean. What voice are you hearing? For you to know yourself and to know your business, you have to know what is that thing that is so unique about you. Let me give you guys a little bit of insight about this voice. So about some years ago, about some years ago, right? I was working I was working in one of my corporate jobs, and every now and then I heard this. I see my grandmom, in my dream, telling me, "Henry, I want to see you. Henry, I want to see you. I want to see you." And I was like, "Why? It keeps occurring." So one day I went to work and I told my job I want to take it. I want to take some time off. They said, "If I take some time off, I'll be fired." It gave me a tough time. So you know what I did? I took 2 weeks to think about this. And during that 2 weeks, I was seeing my grandmom in my dream. And every now and then, I keep hearing her talking to me, "Hey, I want to see you." Then what I did, I told myself, my grandmom is of high value to me. I had to put in my letter of resignation, and I resigned from the job. And I traveled to see my grandmom in Nigeria. I went to see my grandmother. She prayed for me. She was hale and hearty. She was not sick. She prayed so much for me. In fact, there was a prayer that she prayed that touched me so much. All right. She said, even in my job, I will excel. People will bless me. She was hale and hearty. She was not sick. She was okay. And for those of you who might be thinking about this, just go on YouTube and click Henry Kazu. You will see my video. You see my grandmother praying for me. When I came back to the US, I had the job. I was creating a job. So what I did, I took my book, right? I was on the streets trying to advertise my book on the streets. On one fateful day, randomly, I met someone that works on the TV. I told him, "This is my book. I want to mentor young kids in school, in high school, in college." He said, "Hey, okay, give me your number." So he took my number and gave me his number. I just felt that number was just the office number. I didn't know that number was his cell phone number. Just random thought, somebody on the street, just on the street, just because I saw the car, News 12. But guess what? Fast forward to 3 years' time, right? When Trump did a travel ban, New York Times did an interview about me, and I was in New York Times. This same guy read that article, and he told his boss, "I know this young man, I know him." He went on Instagram, sent me a message, and he now texted me directly, "Henry, can you come to the studio?" I came to the studio and I spoke about travel ban because Nigeria was affected. After that interview, what happened? He said, "Henry, you have done excellently well. Come back again. We will do another interview in your house." And that was how I appeared on New York Times. I mean, in News 12. And that was an encounter for me. For those of you who know, I spoke about encounter earlier on. But what am I trying to say? I heard a voice. I heard a voice, and that was my grandmother's voice. "Henry, I want to see you." I had to abandon my job, abandon everything I was doing, and I went. Now, assuming I was still working in my corporate job, I was thinking about, oh, if I should just resign, I won't have any job. How will I pay my bills? But today, I have had an encounter that has transformed me. So I want to ask you, what voice are you hearing? What voice are you hearing? The whole world can lie to you, but you can never lie to yourself. That is the most deceptive thing you can ever do in the world. It's only when you work in alignment of your purpose that you understand what you are and who you are. So, my very good friends, I want to leave you with these wordings. What voice are you hearing? Even in your business, what voice are you hearing? Let me give you another instance again. Okay, before I got married, right? I had a very hard time getting married, trust me, because I was just being chosen like who will I end up with? I was scared of marriage technically because I didn't want to make a mistake, right? When I met my wife, I knew that the very first I met her, I knew that this lady was for me. I knew that internally in me that this lady is for me. I never allowed anyone to distract me because I knew that this was for me. Even at a point of time, my family members were like, you know, "Are you serious? You've not seen how you, whatever." It was so crazy because I was on the verge of tying the knot with someone else. So that voice came up again. I'm going to ask you again, what voice are you hearing? It's very, very important you know the voice you are hearing because self-discovery is not one day journey. It's an evolving thing. You might be working in your business, all right, but that does not make you a success. No, there are so many things that comes with success. It's an evolving process. So I want to ask you, what is your definition of success. And for you to understand what that really means is like, at what stage in life will you say you are successful? Remember when I said earlier on, if someone gives you $1,000,000, 10 billion, $100 million, okay, what will you do with that money? Does that make you a success? But for you to understand the true meaning of success, one question I'm going to ask you: what is that thing that you will do that you can do better than anybody else? Just to give you an insight, what is that thing that when you know you do it, you can never fail? What is that one thing you know that when you do it, you can never fail? That is where your personality, that is where your being, that is where your DNA comes up. For me, I could speak. By God's grace, I can write. I can inspire. Because I see that in me subconsciously and unconsciously. I see myself working in that place. So do not be destroyed. Life might not go as straight as you imagined. It's still okay. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. It's still okay. Life might not go as you planned it. That's still okay. Don't be hard on yourself. It's an evolving process. I came to the US 12 years ago. I was struggling, trust me, but I had the vision in mind. I had the vision in mind. I had the purpose in mind. I had my purpose in mind. So I never struggled like I've struggled. But guess what? At the end of the day, everything started to work in alignment. Why? Because I was intentional. I was deliberate. So it's okay to be wherever you are. It's okay. Everything is working in alignment. Remember, like I said earlier on, if I had not resigned my job, I would not have been on New York Times. If I have not resigned my job, I wouldn't have met the man that interviewed me with my book, Design Your Destiny. If I had not worked security in America, I would have written this book, Design Your Destiny. So life is an evolving process. Do not be hard on yourself. In whatever you are doing, it's going to add up. It's going to add up. Just stay focused. Trust me, once you stay focused, even in your business, you will see yourself exceeding. Have you ever asked yourself, is that why is it that somebody is exceeding in this business and I'm not exceeding? There might be something that person have. It could be that that person has a grace factor working for him or her. It could be the way you smile. It could be the way you treat your customers. It could be the way you follow up with them. It could be that you have a passion. You have an interest. It could be that you have that personality. It could be that you have that skill. There can be anything. But once you are not working in that place of destiny, trust me, you might have some challenges. So, in conclusion, I want to tell you guys just one thing: perspective. What is perspective? Perspective is what you see and what people say about you. Perspective. What do you see in you? What do you feel in you? Not what the world is telling you. Those things to me are called distraction. What is your perspective to life? What are the experiences that have shaped you? I've given you guys an insight of some of those experiences that have shaped me. From working security, from resigning from my job, from traveling to see my grandmother, to being in New York Times, to being on the TV, to writing a book. These are perspective. That is a vision. These are stages in life. So wherever you are, that's still okay. In your marriage, in your family, it's very, very important. Perspectives can shape you. Perspective can inform you. Perspective can reform you. And above all, perspective can transform you. So just don't be hard on yourself. In whatever you are going through, see it like an experience. Because there are two things that comes with perspective: experience and expectation. Experience are those things that has happened to you in the past. Okay? You don't have to look back. Expectation is what will happen to you in the future. That is perspective. You should be focused in the eye because you have the eyes in your front. Your experience are in the back. God did not give you eyes at the back. It's for purpose. He gave you the eye to see. That is what I call expectations. So that's okay. All right. So for those of you who may still want to know more about this self-discovery, feel free to click my bio, okay? And then you could just book you can book a class with me. I call it a discovery call. You cannot really discover yourself with this webinar I've done for about 30 minutes or 45 minutes. You can't. It's an evolving process. It could be in your marriage. It could be in your academics. It could be in your business. It could be your personal life. Focus on your focus, perspective, because life itself is not easy. So, my very good friends, I wouldn't want to take most of your time, but I was expecting more questions. But all I've been seeing is so much comment on Facebook and so much comment on Instagram. So, if you have any question, please feel free to always inbox me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or even on YouTube. I'm all on the social media pages. I will help you to really know more about perspective and self-discovery, because life itself is a journey. You can never get it in one full shot. It's an evolving process, because you can never change your destiny. But the only thing you can do is that you can align with your destiny. I repeat that you can never change your destiny. Your destiny has been programmed even before you came into this world. So it is your job to really align with that purpose, align with that mission, align with that vision. That is how you can know yourself. Your purpose was in heaven. Your mission is on earth. Do you get that? Your purpose was already ordained in heaven. Your mission is here on earth. So you have to ask yourself, what is that thing the Lord has given to me? What is that thing that I have done for people that they've seen so much transformation? When you hear pastors healing miracles, doing deliverance, they are blessed, they are gifted. Remember, we all have different gifts. Even the Bible, it says we have 9 gifts: gift of healing, gift of prophecy, 39 gifts. Even those of us who went to school, you exceed in a particular major. That might have been that you are blessed in that area. Remember when I spoke about the 5 kinds of knowledge: revealed knowledge, empirical knowledge, rational knowledge, intuitive knowledge, and authoritative knowledge. Once you have trained yourself in that area, trust me, you are good to go. All right. So, my very good friends, I know I've given an insight to what is called perspective, to what is called self discovery, to DNA and everything. That is who you are. Your DNA is in your composition. Your DNA has your longevity in your body. Your DNA is the master manual. How can you find your master manual? I have to ask your creator. Your creator has given you all you need to discover yourself, your gifts, your talents, and then you now add your skill and your personality. It's a process. Perspective. So, my very good friends, I want to thank you all for coming with me this evening. Next week, again, we shall be back here for another topic. Hopefully, we shall be talking about finance next week. All right, I have a friend that is coming with me next week, and I hope you guys will join me again. So, feel free to share this video with your friend. Invite your friends next week. Share the video on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll be glad to see you guys next time. Okay. So feel free to always send me any message you have. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you and thank you. Thank you, Endowed. Thank you, my friends, for all joining me. I appreciate you. So for now, it's good night from New York City. I hope to see you guys sometime next week. Take care and stay safe. Bye. One love.